The clip that we're about to watch, and you're gonna have to bear with me. This is a somewhat of a longer clip. This is from the road to TI game 2. They needed to make a comeback here on XG, and they did. This Rax is one blast away from dying, and it's mega creeps. So this is how it starts, and pay attention to the spell usage. First disruption here is gonna dodge the RP from Omar. So this is how the fight starts. Thank you, disruption save, super good. The Lincolns and Lotus also already reflected the first roar on Ame, because our eyes are on Ame and what the supports do. X-Nova in this fight also leaps in and out. He's gonna Lotus and Lincolns him again. He's gonna reflect the Abyssal Blade. He feeds him 2 Lotus Orbs. He has a 4-staff from Jinkyu into a secondary disruption, while Ame is on super low HP. Now X-Nova runs in again. He gives him a second greater healing Lotus, because people were like, wow, you know, Ame, he's so good. He gets to man-fight this Lifestealer. But actually, in reality, it's about how they all play together. It's the spell usage, it's the items, it's the small things, how they kite in and out to actually come back in this game. There's very few teams that would have won this fight, let alone even made a comeback in this game to win it.
Just raw outplay here as well from the side of Nigma Galaxy in their off lane. And that's probably the lane of theirs in this tournament that has leveled up the most. Noob was receiving some criticism earlier on for falling flat in some lanes in some games. I think on the big stage, he has been playing his best. And Omar as well.
Sure.
That is not an expected
soloed by Sumail. That is a huge deal.
It's really mattered in 2 very crucial fights. This Roche fight setup here was great for them. They had an awesome ward that was a little bit to the oops, wrong tool, sorry about that. They had a really cool ward to the north that was basically giving them this vision corridor of like this. And by using the sniper shrapnel here, it basically allows them to put all of this power into their opponent from range. Very crucial things to point out. We have the Spirit here from Elder Titan. This is going to lower Omar's magic resistance closer to 0, which basically makes the Kisses damage, which is launching from all the way over here, and the sniper damage from all the way over here. They're doing this from safety. And the one here that does go in is the Mars. This guy's got the Blink Dagger, and he's got a BKB. So he knows that if he goes in, he can also secure his escape with his BKB. And once they see this, this is basically the last range advantage that Nigma Galaxy has, because they killed the Clockwork first. Nobody else can gap close like him. Troll does it here by running from the side, but he has to do this really elaborate, basically run all the way over this position. It takes time to set this up. He can't just react to the moment. So with just simple a cookie and a Hurricane Pike, he gets out, and now all of a sudden Ghost is kind of just in. And the only hero still kind of in danger was XXS on the BKB. So once this fight kind of goes disjointed, they just have to leave. This is all because of the range advantage and because Extreme Gaming managed to kill the one good jump that Nigma Galaxy had first. They get Roche for free.
You get that reference?
Sure.
You don't know Asterix and Obelix?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Nothing to say. Gonna try to defend the high ground as NGX going without the Aegis, by the way, as the Tombstone is just easily going to be cleaned up by Ghost. This is going to be the last-ditch effort. Tidebound need to defend, need to delay. They're going to smoke to try to get a good initiation. There's the Inkswell with the Epicenter from nothing to say. The Soulbind to follow. Shiro has the Chronosphere at the ready, but the Stone Gaze is doing absolute work for Ghost. Finally comes out the Chrono, but the Egg with the beautiful Sunray placement, and Tidebound have basically nothing left in the tank. They are dropping hard as Shiro trying to time walk away. He'll get it. No! Triple kill for Sumail as one last dead shot for the road. Buybacks now fully expended on the Tidebound side, as Bach just getting kited to a high degree by Ghost, who's still fighting despite not having Aegis and no mana to speak of, as Noob brings Bach down and likely out for the rest of this tournament. GG is called as NGX 2-0 and continue their run here at TI. Oh, this was scanned out. Noob.
Oh, that's a very, very good read.
This might be 2 smokes in a row kind of waste, although Noob, he popped his ult inside the Pit of Malice, though. Reinforcements are going to arrive pretty shortly, but the Global Silence comes out and the Mortimer's Kisses destroy him. But incoming Sumail with the BKB pierce the veil. First to fall is the Snapfire. You can see the Fiend's grip onto the Gyrocopter. Do they have the damage? They have the lockdown. They have everything. This is not even remotely close. And now the Underlord inside of that Nightmare, inside his own Pit of Malice, just getting kited to a high degree. They lose the Lycan to start the fight, but they can force...
Shiro, though, he can stand his ground against Skinner here with the help of both Bach and nothing to say, as Tidebound will push on forward to bully back as well. Amar and Marine. Marine will go for the TP out. He'll make it out of there. Amar, also with that blink, might just survive. He does. So they're able to cut their
Breaker,
loss.
Yuma on that TA. They somehow got Whisper out of that
Another
fight.
refresher. They may not see it's coming. There's another black hole available. And he's
Static Storm.
all day. They got the Static Storm on a Pure.
But you can't go.
They
Have
can't.
five.
No.
They do go.
He does go. He does get that kill. He does force that buyback.
Where is it? Yuma, you have to pull the trigger. There it is.
KJ, this is an opportunity, a moment for greatness. Can he hit the black hole? That's up everything for Heroic. God damn, it's not enough. Pure hits that satanic, and everything is wasted for Heroic.
How is he alive? He's just tanking
Side blade
everything.
after side blade, not enough to kill
Snap,
Mira.
there's so much that goes into a win and a loss, and sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's skill, sometimes it's small mistakes. And I have a couple things to highlight from that very crucial 28-minute Roche fight. Now, the most important thing that happened here is this Observer and Sentry sat directly outside of the pit this entire fight, which gave Extreme Gaming crazy vision. And look at this, Ducal's actually had a Sentry. He just didn't put it down. It's a small mistake. Sometimes pro players overlook that stuff. So XXS jumps in to scout Roshan, stuns his opponents, and buys some time here. But as P-Vision starts retreating and grouping up, look at this crazy Fatal Bonds that happens here from X-Nova. Look at that. He links the Bristleback to the TA, to the Creep, down to the Chen. So all the damage they take ends up getting spread amongst them, which makes their damage really good. But watch this. As we see the TA go into the Roche pit here, he's going to get bashed by Roshan here. And then this 60-second cooldown Roar comes off cooldown right here, which disarms him for 2 seconds. He's trying to all-in on the Roche at this exact moment. And then he bashes the Beastmaster as he blinks in, trying to catch the puck. So Beastmaster says, okay, I have to Roar here, because that's going to push people out and stun them. He gets the Roar off, it pushes out XM, so he's not in the Roche pit. But unfortunately, as he goes to take the Aegis, the exact same time Ame runs in with his ulti, that's going to end up stunning him. So he can't grab the Aegis this whole time. And then the Roar duration runs out. XSS is able to pick this up. So the sequence of events that led to this turnaround, the Sentry not being placed, the Roche bash, the Roche Roar into the follow-up bash, all contributed to the Aegis being stolen there by Extreme Gaming and allowing them to get back into this game. Crazy series of events.
And get themselves in towards that mid lane. And the tier 1 tower there would be a nice objective to clear. And a Queen of Pain kill to start things off would be nice as well. But Mickey has pushed them all back. Silence for a moment, but is able to kill. Oh, look at that. Snaking right place, right time to get the Fiend's grip. Now Batrider in trouble as Malrine crits.
Down bottom, another dive here from Falcons. Putting a lot of pressure now onto the safe lane of Team Spirit. They'll get themselves a second kill now, taking out the support.
It's on the catapult wave. So Malrine, this tower's dead. Unless they bring heroes down here, this is a full tower kill that Falcon's going to be able to set up for with the stupid miss rate that applies from the Sand King. 40%, of course, on that tower.
Who's hanging around?
Gonna drag the wave. He does have a shield rune, but this tower's dead. On the flip side, top, collapse, solo kill.
I mean, these are big kills that he's finding. You know, we're just what's coming up to 7 minutes in, and Collapse already finding.
Hi
3.
everybody, I know what you're here for. It's about Chen, right? That's why you're here? Yeah, he's one of my favorite heroes sometimes, but something that was really interesting about what King Jungles did this game, he got a completely different facet. Every single Chen player that I've seen grabs the Satyrs because it helps them control the early game. But there's little things that are interesting about this early Hellbear. It gives an aura for everybody's attack speed in the early game, and if it dies, it gives your team 120 attack speed. So this means you can actually fight your opponents in the laning stage. And Heroic drafted this knowing that the draining the Lycan's mana is not that big of a deal, and instead they can use this Hellbear to fight. If you kill the Hellbear, your heroes attack fast, and so you have to go for hero kills instead, and this allowed them to get a really early first blood here. That big chunk of damage, by the way, was the bodyguard linking these two guys together and save attacking him once, so you got attacked a couple extra times. So early first blood, that's right, Shiver. Yeah, the early game for Falcons was their bread and butter, something they've been doing consistently throughout the road to the International leading up to this, and that's the Sand King mid and its ability to pressure towers. I did a segment on this during during that road, and when you attack towers with this facet, you're giving mischance of 50% to the tower. So that means anything that is tanking the tower is doubling its HP. Any regen that's going on, if you get a second neutral creep using your Helm of the Dominator or whatever else, it just makes your pushing so much better. In this case, they always pair, not always, but when they can, pair with the Enchantress because that's going to make it easier for them to supply this tower pressure at such an early point in the game. And then Malrine instantly shifts to the bot lane because his opponents had reacted decently with the defense, and they do the same thing here. This one creep wave, they basically traded a tower for a single melee creep, which is insane, but very, very valuable. And then what Malrine does is he goes back to the mid lane.
The thing is, you're fighting into Chrono and Cataclysm now. So if Chris, like, he has one job. If he lands that chrono, that is game over. That is the team fight done.
That's all they need. They don't even need to commit again. They've got this nice ancient Thunderhide. They already folk him. Fly on the side.
Well, how do you...